Yo, what's going on, guys? Elijah here, and today I'm gonna be talking about how I upkeep and sustain my confidence as an entrepreneur. And so before we go any further, I want to explain to you guys who I am and what I do. My name is Elijah. I'm a health optimization coach, and I'm here really just wanting to put out a bunch of useful, impactful content around fitness, mental health, image, and lifestyle, really from one high level thinker to another. So today I want to be talking about how, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who's been an entrepreneur since I graduated college, how I actually sustain my confidence. And this is really an important topic to talk about, because even though the internet makes it seem like everybody's a 100K a month entrepreneur and has an amazing brand and lives this amazing lifestyle, number one, there's a lot of capping going on. Number two, y'all looking at revenue, not profit. Number three, regardless of where you are at inside of your business, there's always gonna be another level of confidence, either internal or external, needed to take it to the next level, right? And I started to notice this thing because when I went from a entrepreneur to an entrepreneur, making enough money to sustain myself, I developed a level of confidence to get there, but when it was time to go from sustaining and survival to actual growth inside of my business, I noticed that I still needed to develop a new level of confidence, right? And it's the same thing, right? Sometimes I'm doing really good in my business, but I realize there's a couple of things in my personal life, right? Or on my mental, my spiritual, that I slack in. And so I need to have the confidence and the awareness to make sure that I can keep those things in check. So let's talk about exactly how I keep my confidence in check and I allow it to evolve with me inside of the process. You know, when I was younger, I used to have really buck teeth, right? After my first set of teeth fell out, my second teeth grew in and they were really big and they were really buck, specifically the two front teeth. I used to get called buck tooth beaver. I used to get every joke in the book. And at first it used to really wear me down emotionally, and I used to be super insecure. But then one day, I just decided to embrace the fact that I had buck teeth. And it happened when I was playing football. A bunch of older guys, after I did really good in the football game, were like, yo, we're gonna call you Buck Nasty. And so they gave me this nickname. And at first I was kind of sensitive about it, but then I realized that there was this really cool identity shift that happened when I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna embrace that and I'm gonna use that to my advantage. And so pretty much inside of my social career of, grade school all the way to high school, I leveraged that name in sports, inside of my popularity, and really just embraced it as who I was, right? And took a part that I saw as ugly and made it a part of who I was and allowed me to make myself shine, right? And that goes into really the pillar number one that I always make sure that I'm doing to keep my confidence where it needs to be. And that's embracing your flaws. Now, the reason why I say this is because no matter where you're at in business or just life, there's always gonna be certain things that will point out your shortcomings, things that you need to build on in order to grow. And in entrepreneurship, there are multiple things doing it every single day. And so if you're not able to embrace your flaws and get over that anxiety of not being enough, it can really just tear down at you internally, right? And so the second part is really looking at myself in the actual mirror, right? And I say this to say, taking care of my health internally and externally. We all know the obvious benefits of working out and looking good, but when we take that a little bit of a level deeper, I've been working out for a long time now, right? And it's not so much as me looking good, although that does play a huge part of my confidence, right? I'm not afraid to approach anybody. I'm not afraid to approach any sort of female that I'm attracted to, and I pride myself on that. But what it really does at an internal level is allows me to know that I'm putting the internal work on myself, right? When I say internal, I mean physically and mentally and spiritually, right? To develop. And so with that comes just that self-certainty and that security of saying, hey, I may not be perfect, but I'm always working on myself, right? And I can see it physically and as well as how that plays out in my day-to-day life, right? And so taking care of yourself is gonna have a huge impact on your confidence. And it's definitely something that you can actively do regardless of where you're at right now, right? And then lastly is the most important thing that I've learned as I've evolved from student to entrepreneur to a co-founder in a tech startup to now being an online entrepreneur, transferring my skill sets in mad different places, and really just seeing how I can bet on my fucking self and make shit happen and sustain my economic means for myself and continue to grow that, because that's what it takes to really build what I want inside of my life, which is generational wealth. And so inside of that, one of the biggest things I've found to be the most important factor in elevating your self-confidence is stepping outside of your comfort zone. And here's exactly why. When you step outside of your comfort zone, it allows you to go through a level of challenge and allows you to go through a level of resistance that's going to ultimately reveal your true character. A lot of people have confidence issues. I used to have confidence issues because we have this image of ourselves that we think we are versus the image that we really are, right, internally. And when those things don't match up, it creates a lot of anxiety. It creates a lot of wondering, a lot of focusing on your have-nots, or focusing on your limitations, focusing on the things that you don't harness within yourself. But when you go out and you step outside of your comfort zone in your life, in your business, physically, mentally, inside of your skill sets every day, it allows you to take challenges up front, right? But those challenges really expose you to your true character and ultimately battle test you. And when you can get really comfortable with understanding who you really are at the core, that's when that vision that you have of who you are versus who you really are starts to come together. And that's where the true level of confidence and self-certainty comes in. And so this evolves in a lot of different capacities, right? Whether it be starting a new business, whether it be having the balls to leave your job, whether it be investing in a mentor or a coach, or learning a new skill set, or hopping on here and creating content and sharing, what's going on inside of your life or inside of your mind with the world. Right? Anything that pushes you outside of your comfort zone, where you're gonna run into yourself and you're gonna have to battle with your character, that's how you get to know yourself, right? That's ultimately how you get to know yourself, through challenges. And when you get to know yourself at a deeper level, that's when your level of self-certainty and inner confidence really starts to grow. And so again, I really want to hit home on just that conversation around, again, number one, owning my imperfections and my shortcomings. Number two, taking care of myself internally and externally. And number three, getting outside of my comfort zone, betting on myself every single day. Guys, we all know how a lack of confidence shows up inside of our life. A lack of confidence may be the reason you're not putting out content. It may be the reason why you're afraid to approach the type of girl that you actually want. It may be the reason why you're afraid to distance yourself from a specific friend group or environment that's not serving you anymore, when you know you need to be in a better environment. And maybe the reason why you still got toxic relationships with certain people, and you're keeping them around thinking that if they leave or if you distance yourself from them, you'll be lonely, right? A lack of confidence shows up in so many ways that limit our actual potential. So it's very important that we always just got that awareness around how can I continue to evolve it, right? And I always say, I don't like to focus it on the pretentious way. I don't look at my confidence as like, man, how can I always make sure if I see any girl, I got the confidence to approach her, right? Confidence exists in so many different capacities. But what I do is I make sure that I continuously am doing the work, which is stepping outside of my comfort zone, growing and evolving every day. And I know that the confidence will come with that. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe wherever you're seeing this. And I'm looking forward to bringing just more contextual, high-level conversations with you and me, my brother. Peace.